is the Voice of Turkey's English language transmission, broadcasting from Ankara in 90-meter band between 1230 to 1330 UTC and 1545 kHz, and in the 49-meter band between 1830 1930 UTC and 5945 kHz to Europe. The Voice of Turkey is also beamed between 2030 2130 UTC in the 31-meter band on 9875 kHz to South Asia and Australia, and in the 25-meter band on 11660 kHz between 1630 730 UTC to Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. You can listen to us over the Turksat 3A and 4A satellites on the internet at www.trtdinle.com through the links, radios, and then the Voice of Turkey. Our email address is englishdesk@trt.net.tr.
Today is Friday, 19th of May, 2023. This is the news in English on the Voice of Turkey. Turkey observes commemoration of Atatürk Youth and Sports Day. Turkey on Friday is celebrating the commemoration of Atatürk Youth and Sports Day, a milestone day marking the beginning of the country's War of Independence. May 19, 1919 was the day when Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, later founder of the Republic of Turkey, arrived in the Black Sea city of Samsun from Istanbul to launch the war that 4 years later transformed the nation into modern Turkey. Atatürk was assigned the post of Inspector General of the Ottoman armies to Anatolia when Istanbul, the Ottoman Empire's capital, was under occupation of the Allied forces. He acted against the orders he was given by the Ottoman authorities and started the movement that later turned into the War of Independence. He attached great importance to the date he set foot and considered May 19th as his birthday when he was asked to provide an exact date. In 1938, Atatürk dedicated May 19th to the youth of the Turkish nation as Youth and Sports Day, a national holiday that sees young people take part in sporting and cultural activities with official ceremonies across the country. Young people celebrate the day by visiting Anıtkabir, Atatürk's mausoleum, and also by organizing sports and cultural activities. As part of the celebrations, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan will join young people in a picnic in Istanbul. Youth and Sports Minister Mehmet Muharrem Kasapoğlu will also meet young people coming from the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus and 81 provinces of Turkey and will visit Anıtkabir. Other Turkish officials and political figures also mark May 19th and are scheduled to attend various events during the day. Death toll from devastating floods in Italy climbed to 13. The death toll from floods that hit northeastern Italy rose to 13, local media reported on Thursday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, the region of Emilia-Romagna was affected by a new wave of torrential rain, which local experts attributed to the climate change crisis. The number of towns affected by flooding has reached 42, with 10,000 people forced to leave their homes and 34,000 households left without electricity, according to state-run ANSA news agency. Army units were deployed to the area to assist the locals and participate in relief efforts. Efforts to reopen roads closed due to flooding and landslides are ongoing in the region. Earlier, Environment and Energy Security Minister Gilberto Pichetto announced on the radio that they would declare a state of emergency for the region. Staying in Europe, former French President Sarkozy is marred by corruption scandals. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy on Wednesday was sentenced to 3 years of prison after he lost his appeal against a 2021 corruption and influence peddling conviction. Although his lawyer announced that he will file a cassation complaint, Sarkozy is already implicated in many affairs. Many scandals, including the Bagmalian affair, allegations that he received Libyan financial support for his electoral campaign, and wiretapping affairs, stained the former Republican right-wing politician's career. On September 13, 2021, Sarkozy was sentenced to a year of prison for illegal funding of his election campaign in 2012. He will be tried once again in November for this on appeal. The former president is suspected of fraud using fake invoices of the Bagmalian company. Sarkozy was wiretapped in 2013 after suspicions that he illegally funded his election campaign from Libyan sources. Investigators found that the former president was using 2 other phone lines registered on a name Paul Bismuth. Sarkozy only communicated with his lawyer Thierry Herzog via those 2 numbers. Sarkozy, who led the country between 2007 and 2012, and his lawyer Thierry Herzog were accused of bribing Gilbert Azibert, former judge in the French Court of Cassation, in 2014 to give them information about judiciary investigation. In exchange, Sarkozy promised the judge a prestigious position in Monaco. Sarkozy is suspected to have received money in several suitcases coming from the Libyan regime in 2006 and 2007 to fund his electoral campaign in 2007. The National Financial Prosecutor's Office launched an investigation in 2013, and Sarkozy may be tried for criminal association, illegal funding of his electoral campaign, and concealment of stolen public funds. G7 leaders to discuss proposal on peace summit for Ukraine. A proposal for a Ukraine peace summit will be among agenda items at the upcoming Group of 7 meeting in Japan, and EU officials said on Thursday. Along with support to Ukraine, the G7 countries, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the UK, and the US, as well as the EU, are expected to exchange views on an end to Russia's war in Ukraine. An EU official who spoke to the reporters on condition of anonymity confirmed that a proposal for Ukraine peace summit will be at the table during the summit that will be hosted by Japan in Hiroshima between May 19th and 21st. The leaders are expected to discuss the conference in line with the 10-point peace plan proposed by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during the latest Group of 20 summit in Indonesia 2022. The 10-point plan includes restoring Ukraine's territorial integrity, withdrawal of Russian troops and cessation of hostilities, and restoration of Ukraine's state borders with Russia. Following his recent Europe tour covering Italy, Germany, France, and the UK, the Ukrainian leader said peace was discussed at all the meetings, and now there is more willingness of our partners to follow the Ukrainian formula. There is more support for our accession to the EU, more understanding that Ukraine's accession to NATO will happen. It is inevitable, Zelensky added. In a related news, UN-led inspectors authorized new vessels bound for Ukraine for first time since early May. A UN-led Joint Coordination Center in Istanbul overseeing shipments agreed to authorize new vessels bound for Ukraine to participate in the Green Deal for the first time since May 4th, a spokesman said on Thursday. 3 new inbound vessels were approved heading to Odessa and Chornomorsk ports, UN Deputy Spokesperson Ferhan Hak told reporters. There are 3 other ships on their outbound journey, 2 of which are preparing for inspection in Istanbul, and 1 that has been stranded in the Ukrainian ports since March 2022 is now departing Ukraine under the terms of the initiative, he added. While we welcome this partial resumption of inbound movement activity, we call on the parties to ensure that the authorization of new vessels is done for all ports to make use of capacity and meet industry demands. Ukraine Black Sea Green Deal has been extended for 2 more months until July 18th. Turkey, the UN, Russia, and Ukraine initially signed the agreement in Istanbul last July to resume grain exports from 3 Ukrainian Black Sea ports, which were halted after the Russia-Ukraine war began in February 2022. In a related news, Storm Shadow missiles have been used in Ukraine, confirms British Defence Minister. UK-supplied Storm Shadow cruise missiles have been used in Ukraine, according to UK Defence Minister Ben Wallace on Thursday. During a press conference with Norway's Defence Minister Bjorn Alitgram, Wallace confirmed the use of the missiles but refrained from providing further detail. All I can say is it is my misunderstanding that it has been used since we announced its deployment to Ukraine, he said. He noted, it is one of the mitigations that if you can't supply fighter aircraft, can you help provide one of the things that fighter aircraft deliver, which is deep strike. And yes, we can do that with Storm Shadow. Meanwhile, when asked about Norway's potential donation of F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine, Graham stated that it was not currently on the agenda and he did not wish to speculate on any future donations. The British government last week announced that it will be providing long-range missiles to Ukraine. The long-range air-launched cruise missiles can travel up to 350 miles, about 550 kilometers, and carry a warhead of up to 450 kilograms. They were developed by British Aerospace and a French company, according to the Royal Air Force. Moscow has warned that the move will warrant an appropriate response from the Russian military. Other countries, including the US, have been hesitant to provide such arms, fearing that they may lead to an escalation in the conflict if used against targets in Russia. And finally in the news, over half of Turkish parliament comprises of newly elected MPs after May 14th election. Some 335 out of 600 lawmakers who will serve the nation in the 28th term of the Turkish parliament were elected for the first time in Sunday's general elections, according to unofficial results. 36 lawmakers who served as MPs before the 27th legislative term re-elected for the new legislative term. Also, 219 lawmakers from the 27th term were re-elected to gain a parliamentary seat. Among 335 lawmakers, 148 are members of the Justice and Development Party, the AK Party, 90 are members of the Republican People's Party, the CHP, 47 are from the Green Left Party, 27 are from the Good Party, the Party, 18 are members of the Nationalist Movement Party, the MHP, 4 are from the New Welfare Party, and 1 is a member of the Turkey Labour Party. Millions of voters sent to the polls on Sunday to elect the country's president and members of its 600-seat parliament. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's People's Alliance won a majority in parliament, while the presidential race is headed to a second round on May 28th. In the first round, held on May 14th, no candidate won an outright majority, although Erdogan was leading. Erdogan will face Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, the leader of the main opposition CHP and joint candidate for the six-party opposition Nation Alliance in the runoff vote. And that was the news in English on the Voice of Turkey.